Good morning, Roanoke. Sunday is coming, so it's time to think about tomorrow. We're going to be looking at what I would describe as maybe the second most beloved chapter in the entire Bible. If I were to pick number one based on what I see in other people, I think it would have to be the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. But that's not the one we're looking at tomorrow. On Sunday, May 1st, May Day, we're going to be looking at chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians. Now, we delved into 1 Corinthians last Sunday as we talked about the amazing message about unity and division. But we're going to skip a lot of chapters and jump right into chapter 13, often called the love chapter. Though I speak in the tongues of mortals and angels, but have not love, I am nothing. And the chapter ends with that famous verse, now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is what? You got it, love. The greatest of these is love. The love chapter, sometimes read at weddings. But if we dig into the letter to the 1 Corinthians, we realize that even though it is fine to use that at your wedding, you use that at your wedding, don't get offended. I'm not criticizing you, but I do need to tell you one thing, and that is that it's really not a wedding chapter at all. The context is entirely different. So we're going to dig into that tomorrow and find out what was Paul really getting at. Why did he share these amazing words? And what was he trying to teach us through these amazing words? And the other thing we're going to talk about is sort of an interesting thing. If you've ever read that chapter in the King James Version, the beloved King James Version, you've probably noticed something a little interesting because it talks about faith, hope, and what? Do you know? It doesn't say faith, hope, and love. In fact, it says faith, hope, and charity. Now that probably confuses you if you've never read that before. And maybe if you have read that, you've thought, why would the greatest of these be charity? Why would charity be greater than faith and hope? So I suspect 99.9% of Christians prefer the translation of faith, hope, and love. It just seems to make so much more sense. Why on earth was there a translation some 400 years ago that said faith, hope, and charity? You know what? I am not going to answer this question on the Sunday's Coming video. You gotta show up tomorrow to find out the answer. Well, not really, because if you can't make it tomorrow, I will give you the answer on the Afterthoughts video later. But actually, it's not just trivia. It really helps us understand the question much better. It helps us understand the love chapter much better when we understand what they were talking about when they translated it faith, hope, and charity. So I hope to see you as we deal tomorrow with the love chapter or the charity chapter, depending on how you translate it. See ya.